Here's why you play Uranus, the ethereal defender in the EXP lane. First off, he has exceptional sustainability, allowing him to soak up tons of damage while generating HP over time. He excels at split pushing and baiting enemies with his durability and mobility. His ability to continuously stay in lane and harass opponents makes him a huge threat inside lane. However, Uranus struggles against burst damage and has no hardcore control, which makes him less effective in coordinated lockdown team fights. Uranus' passive, Radiance, allows him to absorb energy when damaged, generating stacks that heal him over time. The more stacks he has, the more HP he regenerates over the second. This passive is key to his sustainability and lets him stay in lane far longer than most heroes. Uranus' first skill, Ionic Edge, releases 2 rotating energy blades that damage and slow enemies they touch. Hitting the same target increases the damage they receive from future hits during that cast. The skill is his main source of poke and lane control, and it helps him apply pressure constantly. Uranus' second skill, Transcended Ward, dashes to a target location, damaging and slowing enemies in his path and granting himself a large shield. When the shield expires or is destroyed, it explodes and deals area damage. The skill allows him to dive in, absorb damage, and deal it back when the shield bursts. Uranus' ultimate, Consecration, cleanses himself of slows, restores HP, and gains a burst of movement speed. He also gains mono stacks of his passive and enhances his healing and shield effects for a few seconds. This skill is excellent for escaping, re-engaging, or surviving long team fights. A typical skill combo for Uranus is to start with his second skill to dive into enemies and apply pressure. Then activate your ultimate to remove slows, boost your healing, and move around freely while taking hits. Continuously spam the first skill for consistent damage and slows while absorbing enemy focus. Moving on to builds, I usually build Enchanted Talisman, Thunder Belt, Oracle, Brute Force Chestplate, Dominance Ice, and finally Radiant Armor. These are the emblems that go along with this build. As for battle spells, the best battle spells for Uranus in the EXP lane in my opinion are Flicker, Vengeance, or Execute. Flicker for escaping tight situations or repositioning, Vengeance to reflect and reduce incoming damage during team fights, and Execute to finish off low HP enemies that try to escape your damage over time. Uranus does well against heroes who rely on single target or low damage skills like Tigreal and Franco since he can out-heal their damage. However, he struggles against long and range DPS like Layla and Leslie, or heroes who can apply strong anti-healing like Basha and Minstar. Basha reduces Uranus' regen from the start of the game, and Minstar's ultimate can cancel his mobility, making him much easier to lock down and kill. To maximize Uranus' potential, pair him with high damage backliners like Hanabi and Beatrix who can take advantage of the space he creates in team fights. You start with the first skill for wave clear and poke, prioritize upgrading the first skill for consistent damage, then the second skill for the shield and mobility. Most importantly, always upgrade the ultimate whenever available. Uranus thrives in extended fights and lane duels where he can build up his passive to keep regenerating health. Don't be afraid to trade damage in lane, his healing will usually let him come out on top. Use the second skill to engage or disengage depending on the situation, but avoid wasting it if Minotaur crowd control is nearby. In the early game, play safe and focus on clearing waves to gain XP and stacks. As the game progresses, Uranus becomes harder to kill, making him excellent for split pushing or baiting the enemy team into chasing him. Time your ultimate wisely. It can turn you from near death to full HP in seconds if used under pressure. Try to avoid mana issues by managing your skill usage early or building up mana sustaining items.